Hello, welcome to this video. Here it is. Today am telling you about the books that I wanted to read this year but didn't, except I don't set TBRs, so really I shouldn't have set the expectations for wanting to read these books at all. But with my growing need to read more and more media that I find online and think is fantastic and then have to own immediately, becomes the weight of responsibility of realising that I'm never going to be able to read all the books I want to read in a year because there's too many amazing authors and creators out there making too many amazing books. So keep going, guys. Keep putting the pressure on us readers to sort ourselves out, put our phones down and read more, but these are the books that I didn't manage to get to this year, but maybe I will next year. In no particular order nor genre nor me remembering the plots of many of these books, I'm just gonna start throwing them at myself and we'll discuss what they're about, why I didn't read them this year and whether I'm actually gonna pick them up at all / next year. Hopefully I will, otherwise this really isn't a good video because these are the books that are like the top of my TBR, maybe. I don't know what this is, we'll just see how it goes. Okay, this is the first book that I missed it when tapping it, this is going well so far. This is the first book that I didn't read this year. It's not the first book I didn't read this year, there are many books I didn't read this year. Thousands and millions in fact, but we'll just stick to this one for now. This is Brandon Sanderson's Warbreaker. This is a book that I probably received in the latter part of the year. This one was one of my birthday whole books that I received and was sent, and I have not read it yet because I think my brain can only deal with one like deep epic fantasy a month. I'm saying that like I've been reading one a month. I don't know, guys, I don't know. You take that blame pointing finger away from this gal. This, I can't remember too much of what it's about, but I do know there's some kind of magic with colours and things. It's called biochromatic magic, which is either very sciencey or very colour-y. But it says, drawing upon the colour in everyday objects, all manner of miracles and mischiefs can be performed. So that kind of sounds cool. It's the story of two sisters. One is a princess and the god king, one of them has to marry? That's a weird way to word that sentence. What, the god to be princess, one of what? Okay, let's try this again. Okay, it's about two sisters who have to marry somebody who's called the God King, who's a lesser god. And it's also about an immortal trying to undo the mistakes he made hundreds of years ago, maybe? Warbreaker, everybody! The book I would like to read. I genuinely do really want to read this because I read Elantris this year by Brandon Sanderson and absolutely loved it, and it made me really want to read more of his works. So I want to get stuck into this one. I think it helped that I read Elantris on a Kindle because I wasn't able to see how long it was. It's not that bad. This is only 630 something or other. That's quite a lot really, isn't it? We're just gonna pop it there, but I really want to read that one soon. The next book I didn't get to this year, which I think this one's more acceptably okay because I was literally sent this like last week or the week before. This is Masters of One and this is by Jada Jones and Danielle Bennett. This is a fae male romance and I'm excited. One of them is a thief. Is he a human though? It says he's a talented thief and then the other is a fae. I'm excited, I'm excited. It's quite chunky as well, which I'm pleased with. It's 520 something or other pages, so it's enough to get my teeth stuck into. I like me a good fae story. I'm excited to read this one. I've heard good things about it. This is an ARC. I was sent this one by Harper Teen for a review, but as I said, I only received it like a week or two ago, so I don't feel like this one's like I'm a bad person for not having read it. Not that anyone's a bad person for not having read books, but I feel that this one is definitely one I'm going to read in January because I'm really excited. The only reason I haven't read it yet is because I've got Christmassy books on my TBR at the moment. But this one, I'm going to read it next year right at the start. Mark my words. I want to read this one. So haven't read it this year, but I'm going to read it right at the start next year. Here's one you may all recognise. It's Circe by Madeline Miller. I got this one as well for my birthday and I was super excited to read it. It's one of those ones where time has swept away from me and I just haven't had the right mood to pick this up. Because I am a mood reader, I feel like this is quite a specific type of mood because this is based on ancient Greek mythology. So I want to be definitely in the mood to pick this up when I go for it. I have read Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I wanted to love it as much as everyone else did. I didn't. However, this one looks really, really interesting. Not that the Song of Achilles didn't look interesting. I'm in a weird filming video mood today, so you can just have my waffle. I apologise. This is about Circe, who is born to the gods and basically shunned because she isn't what they expected. So she ends up picking up the dark art of witchcraft, and some stuff happens there with the people that she meets. I think she meets a bunch of different types of creatures. Maybe, but she's, yeah, a woman, being independent, fighting on the wrath of men. You go, girl. I don't, is she the villain? Is she a goodie? I'm excited to read it. This one, oh, it's so shiny. What is my mood today? I'm just like, oh, shiny book. Okay, sorry for this, but bear with. I want to read Circe. This one is on my list, but I didn't get to it this year, and I would really like to soon because everyone says it's really good and I want to join in the hype. This next one's a bit of a curveball, but we're going to throw it in there anyway, quite literally. Oh my god, this is Absolute Proof by Peter James. Now, this book, Peter James I think is a fairly well-known author for his kind of thrillery writing. This my mum read a couple of years ago whenever it came out and absolutely loved it and was like, you have to read it, Beth, you have to read it, because I like an intellectual mystery thriller type of thing, like a Dan Brown type book, and I think this was one. I don't know anything about Peter James. I don't know what kind of a writer he is, so I am intrigued to see if I will like this one. I honestly don't know much about this other than the premise that I believe that someone has says they've got absolute proof that God exists, and there's some kind of mystery around them trying to prove that, and what the consequences would be if they said that there absolutely was definitive proof that there was a god. And yeah, it's not like a religious... I've not read it, so I don't know, but I think it's more looking at religion from a mystery point of view in the same way that Dan Brown's books do as well. Like with Angels and Demons, for example, there's a religious theme in it, but it's not like it is a religious book. I think that maybe the guy investigating it is trying to work out, I don't know what it's about. Basically, what am I going to be like editing this? I don't know. Excuse me. This is so chaotic. It says, what would it take to prove the existence of God and what would be the consequences? The false faith of a billionaire evangelist, the life's work of a famous artist, and the credibility of each of the world's major religions, all under threat. If Ross Hunter can survive long enough to present the evidence. I don't know, my mum says it's really, really, really good. So, here we go. That one did a flip in the air. This is a declaration of the rights of magicians by H.G. Parry. I read another book by H.G. Parry at the start of this year, which was The Unlikely Escape of Uriah Heep, and I loved it. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. It was like one of the first books I read of 2020. So of course, this one was one that I absolutely wanted to read as well, and I honestly thought I would have read this by now because of how much I loved H.G. Parry's writing, and I don't know why I haven't. This seems to be like a Les Mis-esque thing with magic. So, an intriguing concept. I don't think it's a retelling or anything, but the back tagline says, a sweeping tale of revolution and wonder in a world not quite like our own, and I believe it's set in France. So, I'm very intrigued to see how this goes. I really, really liked her writing with The Unlikely Escape of Uriah Heep. That was just fab. It was a book about books as well, which we know I adore. So if that was anything to go by, I will really like this, and I genuinely thought I would have read this by now. So I'm just going to whack myself on the head with it instead for not having read it yet. Okay, I'm going to be honest, this next one I know little about, so what a shock. And that is Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. What I know about this is the main character was raised in a library. It's a book about books. Why haven't I read this one yet? What? I thought I'd read like most books about books, if not all books about books on my TBR, not in the world. Not claiming that, just the ones that I own. Why have I not read this one? I honestly don't know. I've heard good slash mixed slash mainly good things about this, and it's a book about books, and I guess there's an adventure as well. What does the back say? Stephanie Garber has blurbed it, and she said Sorcery of Thorns is a bewitching gem. I absolutely loved every moment of this story. Okay. I'm intrigued by the library-esque nature of it. I know no more than this. Maybe there's magic. It says sorcery, so we're going to assume there's some magic. I don't know, guys. You didn't come here for book descriptions. You came here for me to look like an idiot. Maybe you did come here for book descriptions, but we should know by now that when I read a blurb, it just falls out of my brain instantly. Then we have Queenie, which I absolutely thought I would have read this summer. This is by Candice Carty-Williams, and honestly, why have I not read this one yet? This is a perfect summer read for me. It just screams sitting in the sun all day. The tagline in the front of this one says it's a darkly comic and bitingly subversive take on life, love, race and family. Queenie will have you nodding in recognition, crying in solidarity and rooting for an unforgettable character. I've even got a Queenie bookmark on the inside of it ready for me to go. I think I did have this one in polls as to what I should read over the summer, and I just don't know what happened, but the summer was just very fast. The whole year's been fast. So I would like to read this one very soon, and I think it's going to be probably like a May to June time read, because contemporaries and me, we go well in the sun. Okay, this one I got because I'm writing a translated fiction masterpiece. Masterpiece? No, I'm not. Master list. God. And this one was one that I was told I had to put on it. This is A Man Called Ove by Frederick Backman. And from what I can tell, it's about a grumpy old man who we're gonna apparently end up loving. So, okay. A blurb from the Spectator Books of the Year is finally rescued all those men who constantly mean to read novels but never get around to it. What? And also, people have said, charming, you'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll feel new sympathy for the curmudgeons in your life. What a great word, curmudgeons. Curmudgeons. Anyway, this one, thought I'd read it, it's very small, I really should. I know that this is quite a few people's favourite books. Oh, the chapters have art and it's different for each chapter at the front of it. Hang on. Look! What's that one? Oh, a little light bulb. How cute is that? Okay, alright. 2 left. Okay, another translated fiction. We have got The Name of the Rose by Umberto Eco. This again was one that I bought when I was going through like my stage of buying all of the translated fiction, so I had it ready to read, and I have been reading them all throughout the year. It's just these are some of the ones that I didn't quite manage to get to. This looks like a kind of intellectually thriller book as well. However, I'm slightly daunted by this one. It is a vintage classic. Is it vintage? Yeah, Vintage Eco it says. I don't think it's that old though. Hang on. What year was this one published? The 80s. Okay. Not bad. Set in the 1300s though, following a monk, I think, who possibly is investigating into a murder somehow? I don't know. It's apparently an astonishing chronicle of the Middle Ages. I got this one because whilst it's daunting, it also looks like the kind of thing I would like if I can get past the daunting stage. Oh my god, the font is so small and close together. Oh god, I am no less daunted. Why am I still looking? Oh my god. Okay, we're going to put that one over there. Finally, the last book I have not got to this year that I wanted to. There's more, there's loads more, but we're just going to limit this video because I am just talking absolute crap. And I apologise, but I also don't apologise because I haven't seen another human for a while and this is what happens. And that book is A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. This I have seen everywhere. I have seen a lot of people crying about it. All I know is it's about 4 friends. I think they live in New York. Also, this one confuses the heck out of me because the blurb's inside the book. Yes, they moved to New York and apparently it's gonna make me cry. So I don't know what that means happens, but I've heard really good things. Again, a little bit daunted because this is chunky. Oh my god, it's over 700 pages. Oh, I don't want to read the last page, but oh, okay. I want to read it. I do. Maybe I should just set myself less high expectations of how much I will read next year and just get these chunky books done, because a lot of these are big, particularly these two, and these two also scare me. That's these two. Wouldn't it be nice if I could get to some of these? Okay, that's the end of this strange video. Hopefully you found this in some form entertaining. These are all the books that I didn't get to. There's a lot of books that I didn't get to. There's many books in the whole world that I've never got to, but I did read an amazing selection of books this year, and I think it's difficult because there's always going to be books that you think, oh, I really want to read that. There's always going to be more books popping up that you think, I want to read that, particularly when you just see everyone talking about them online. So it makes it incredibly difficult to read all of the books you want to read because there's so many good ones out there. So thank you to all the people that make these, create these amazing worlds for us to all jump into. It's just awe-inspiring, and the fact that I can just sit here and get excited to the point of like butterflies in my stomach about a book is such a cool feeling. Like I love that this is a passion of mine, I love it. It's great. Yeah. Anyway, there you go. Slush fest over of me telling you how much I love books. It's been a great reading year. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you somehow got to the end, or just generally enjoyed it, then please give it a thumbs up. Please comment down below some books that you didn't get to this year, or tell me out of all of these, if you've read any of them, which one you think I should get to first and am most likely to enjoy. I'm excited. Which one of these am I most excited to read? Let's have a look. Well, like maybe this one because it's books about books, but also no, it's this one. I'm really excited to read this one. I want to read this one now, but I also know that that'll throw off my Christmas TBR, so oh god, there's a mess on the floor around me. Okay, I'm gonna take a thumbnail now, but subscribe if you'd like to see more or less chaotic videos on your feed in the future. Thank you guys so much for watching. My Santa hat and I would like to also wish you a Merry Christmas and tell you to keep smiling and stay positive and the Merry Christmas thing again.